Okay, well, here we go. Let's see if this works. Oh boy. My restreaming program is crapping itself, so this is going to be interesting. Hey, how you doing, Nicholas, my boy? All right, as of the moment, I don't believe we have Facebook's chat up. I have everything else. I just don't have Facebook's chat. And sorry, Nick, that it took me so long to get up. I apologize. I worked the graveyard, so I slept, and then I just went live. So, and then here, let me throw an at everyone in Factorio. At everyone, streaming Factorio. There. All right. So, ooh, I think it finally finished. Yes, I can now build factory building MK3s, which is good because these buildings that I have are great, but they're not nearly as big as they could be. So the plan is, as of right now that I've researched what I need to start filtering off red circuits, and then once I filter off enough red circuits, I'm going to start building some stuff. Alright, I need a stack filter inserter to go into a chest, like that. I'm going to go like that. So, the all comes to YouTube notification squad, 5 to 7 second delay. Okay. To be fair, that's not too bad of a delay. It really isn't. So the issue here is I'm struggling to produce certain resources fast enough, just based on our limited size. I need to double to triple the size of my... Well, like for example, if I'm running military science, I can't be producing blue science at the same time because I have enough steel production to do just one or just the other. So... 30-second Twitch delay long. So what you're saying is you're promoting that I should continue to stream on YouTube anyway, just because the delay is shorter. And the answer is you're correct. It is shorter. One of the things though that I'm looking at here is I'm actually planning. Oh boy, that's a lot of steel I need. Much steel you need. All right, let's grab that, and then I need some stone. So my plan is now until you guys specifically were like, yeah, let's do this. Until you guys specifically said, hey, let's play this, I actually had potential plans to play something else, or to do a in real life stream today. But you guys yelled for this, so I'm like, okay, I'm listening. Yeah, screw it, we'll do it anyway. I have plans at some point to do a real life stream, because I built that picture that I posted of the 3D ship, of that 3D puzzle ship that I have. I also ordered a castle, and the castle got here today. So I was almost gonna do a... The idea is actually quite brilliant, because like the size of that ship, it was freaking huge. See, so here's the castle. You can't see it because it's green. Well, his shirt is green. The rest of it's not green. Oh, we're reflecting green off the... Yeah, close enough. Anyway. But yeah, so I ordered a castle. And I was going to build the castle on stream, which I still plan to do, just not right now. Oh boy. Watching the enemy waves come flowing in. The plan here is to expand the base more. Let's take you guys up. Okay. In fact, here, let's do... Do I have a 2x2 with any of these? I thought one of these offered a 2x2 chest. That one does, but I don't have the resources or the processing for it yet. Which, that is another reason why I want to get the big building out. Alright, let's just throw down a storehouse then, just because it'll work. It'll work better. The idea here is I want to get... Nope, I just unplugged my base. Nope, my cat found the box that I just set down. Whoops. This, nope, nope. I was about to say I don't have the thing I'm looking for. More steel. We need more money. Alright. Your output is just iron. Oh, not that one. Like that. Okay. And the reason being is with that I can say I want... Oops. Okay. The sad part is ultimately the goal is to not have this building anymore. The goal is to have a big building storing the ore. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to combine this building with this building in a tier 3 building, which will be much better by the time it's done. So I'm going to try and we're going to do that. Like that. That ought to fill that up. Interesting, with 3, it's still barely keeping up there. And we're getting to the world of productivity modules, where we're going to be doing full factory. Oh yeah. The plan here though is I need to start getting enough. Oh, golly, I need so much steel. That is ridiculous. Yeah, ridiculous. And I need 5,000. Oh yeah, I forgot. This is the one that is just like ridiculous. Hang on. I need a building. Like, I need to come over here and just tear this up. I need to set this up with like a building. I also need these to have an actual output, technically. Our current steel setup is too tight for an output. The point here being I need to have as much of this as possible having an output so I can feed it directly into the building, because it's going to just take up so much. So a couple of the things, pardon me, squeaked. A couple of things I'm working on here. I'm trying to set this up. I'm trying to build this and set this up where, oh. Pardon me, let's fix this. Let's, like that. And then I want now, this is going to be pretty spaghetti based until we get this going. This is going to be pretty spaghetti based, but that's okay. We'll just make it. We'll just deal with it. Okay, there's enough steel. I have like so much crap in my inventory that I don't need. Here, let's come over here. We're going to set up just a dump box over here by the military. And we'll go. You know that thing where like you hoard old crap that you never used? I'm kind of in that stage of this game. Like 3 stacks of old electric poles I'm not using anymore. I'm not using the boilers, not using that one, not using those ones. I'll probably be using them later, but for now I don't need them. I don't need either of the guns. I don't need those. Okay, just cleaning up my, oh. I don't need that one either. Okay. We're listening to the Stardew Valley thing today. More production for the People's Factory. It's true. You're not wrong. Alright, I need more steel. I'll go like that, and then I'll let this refeed itself. And that's good, because that's also a use of the iron that we're currently not really using. Break Force 2, huh? There are much better things than Break Force 2 to be researching. Let's get advanced material processing. We need that before we can upgrade, I think, to the tier 2 miners. Yeah, the plan is to completely go put iron ore in the furnaces. Yeah, who cares? I could, but who cares? You know, it's one of those moments. I could put one out and then feed that over here. But we're like barely using any I'm trying, the whole goal here is to eventually displace all the resources. So the original goal is I want to set up the first like 2 or 3 buildings and then destroy the ore patches by putting them into the building. The main issue is just that I'm still space limited, which is where our base is working, but it's still limited. And then part of that is, actually, let me go. I need I need another building. I hate when my throat's all jacked. Okay. Oh boy. So my plan here is I want to stick a thingy like that. But I want to give it productivities because we're going to go through so many. So like I want to do that, but then that gives me a productivity of 45%, so that way it'll be much cheaper. See, and this is where the productivity really kicks in, is there are certain places where it's really good to use the productivity, and like on a building that takes, you know, on a building that has a recipe that takes 5,000 of a resource, it can be a good idea to put them there. This is super nuts. Okay. Yeah, this whole process is going to be nuts. And this is the part where it gets silly because each stage is just another small piece in the puzzle. Like, so the issue I'm running into right now is that in order to build the scale that I want, the tier 2 buildings is not going to be enough. So like, here's a prime example where it's like, I need to start doing more oil processing, and I don't currently have the resources to the space to build it efficiently. Like, this part worked great, except for I want it to go about another 4. This part worked fine, but it's not being fed fast enough. Yeah, like, that's the whole, I need another 4 of these, is I'm not producing enough here. Also, I want a big building so that I can also do, and I need to see if I have this, I need the coal liquefaction. They made coal liquefaction really expensive. It takes productivity science, which we don't even have researched yet. Yeah, we're just waiting on advanced material processing. So we're going to finish advanced material processing, double the buildings. Basically, every step up basically doubles everything. I really like the Stardew thing. I really like it. The other thing is I need to get just enough to start doing the coal liquefaction. Like, my goal is to get one of these built. Yeah, I need stone. My stone, that's the other thing. My connections are in the wrong places. Gosh, alright, I need, like, we're going to do about 2 full rows of each of these. Like that. The idea being that we have so much crap we need to do. There we go. That way these guys will at least be running non-stop. There we go. Yeah, this takes a lot. And literally it's going to be like, we're going to get our first building and we're going to slap it down like right here. Yeah. Our first building is going to go like right there. And I'm going to take this and feed it around into the back. Take this building's worth and feed it in as well. And it'll be like, that's iron. And then I'll throw down the next one right next to it and that will be copper. And then the idea is I'll be able to like just start feeding on top of this again and then just yank it out and get rid of it. The problem is we also have coal, which needs to be here too somewhere. And at the moment we don't even have a coal. Let's see. How much for a little one? Just 500 stone? Let me grab 500 stone real quick. You know what? We don't currently have one of these and we need one. But we'll limit it. It doesn't need to be so big. Have you seen Factorio Recursion? Recursion from just two? I have not. No. I tried doing a incursion inside an incursion-based playthrough, and it worked. It just was too messy. It's definitely doable. It's just very messy. So, the plan here is I'm going to throw down a little one for coal, because coal doesn't have processing, it's just coal. And so what I'll do is I'll put a little one here first, because coal goes there and then feeds to other places. So we're going to go like there and say that's our coal connection. And then this guy up here, when it says, hey, we're harvesting coal, this one will filter for coal. To be honest though, I don't really watch any other streamers, not in Factorio. And honestly, that's like, I've always been that way. I don't watch any other streamers play this game. This is one in particular that I'd much rather play it myself. Alright, let's see here. I gotta decide how I want to do this. It's only on YouTube, pretty crazy. Okay. It's pretty cool. Oh, do we got our first building yet? There we go. Yeah, there's a lot of really good stuff out there, and I don't watch any of it. I'm just like, meh. The main issue is with how much time I do have. With the time that I do have, I typically only watch comedy things that just make me happy. So like, I watch a lot of like Rooster Teeth stuff, and that's basically it. At the moment anyway, that's all I'm watching at the moment. Alright, so coal, how much coal is in this patch? 1.3 mil. How much coal do we fit per quarter of a mil? Yeah, that should be plenty. Alright. Oh, and then I put that in the way of the building. Lol. Need a belt maul? Or belt maker? Well, part of the problem there is I typically do that inside of a building as well. And it would be a tier 3 building. I just don't have one yet. Alright, so let's go over here. Continue to feed steel, and feed copper, and feed red. Man, 10 steel per substation. And I need 100. That seems a little excessive. The problem is, as of this moment, I don't think... Yeah, I was going to say, there's going to be no excess steel anywhere at the moment. Okay, so let's change our processing here. Right now... Whoa, did I research it while I wasn't looking? I did. Nice. The bioindustry's changed recipes really sucks. Spaghetti and auto spaghetti production. Okay. It's pretty funky. There we go. The problem is when I designed this map, the idea was to have the resources be small patches. That way I would run out quickly and I would be forced to expand, and then it was going to be a land grab game between me and the aliens. Instead, my starting area had so much freaking resources, it wasn't. I'm out of stone, and there are too many biters lol. Do you not have any mods that create stone? See, I wish that things like the quarry mod, because I have the quarry mod installed and I love it. I love the quarry mod. Not currently really using it, not really at the moment. But I wish that they were more expensive. Either power or whatever else. I wish they were more expensive. Just because... Is that enough? Perfect. There's our first 100. I wish that the quarry mod was more expensive so that it was a more feasible option. Because if it was expensive... If the quarry mod was expensive, no one would be a good mod for it. I usually use the quarry mod, or depending on what version you're playing on. Certain versions don't currently have one of the mods that I use, sadly. One of my favorite ones was the Dark Star. Dark Star? Yeah. Dark Matter. Dark Matter. The Dark Matter is one of my favorites, and it's because the Dark Matter allows you to spend power to build resources or build whatever, and then you can, in the options menu, you can adjust it based on how much you want to be able to do with it. Like, for example, you can get to the point where if you want, you can be producing solar panels, for example, using just a power. You're using dark matter and power, basically a giant thermonuclear reactor that is creating matter using energy. You're just pumping energy into it, and then it turns into matter. And you can turn off the higher stuff. So you can say, I only want basic resources, period. And then you use the dark matter replicators to create just basic ores, and that's it. Or you can say, I want to be able to produce ores and fluids. And so now you can build ores and fluids. The base level is you can create almost anything. The problem is with the 0.17 ports, it's not always there. They don't always have what you want. So, but yeah, the point at the moment, or the current thing we're working on, is I've got these 4 here, trying to finish off this patch and get rid of it. Which it's going slowly. But yeah, we're trying to get rid of all the resources. The goal is to start setting up probably our final base. This world in general will not have too much rail on it, I'm guessing. It just depends on when we go to expand more. The issue is that, like, I didn't mess with the resource spawning, And so you step out like this far from the base, and it's like 35 million, and it's like, okay, I guess I don't have to do anything. Like, I loved the map, I just didn't realize that it's like you look at this, it's like 17 million, 13 million, 6.1 million. It's like, I better make a super base island that goes through insane amounts of resources, or there's gonna be no point. You know, there's gonna be so much resources, and I'll never have to go anywhere. Like literally, it's like, here's my base defense, and that's as big as, like, I might never have to even leave the island. I had to leave long enough to get oil. I had to leave long enough to get an outpost for some oil, but that was it. Can I do that from here? Wow, that is a long reach. That's a very long reach. I'm like, it was lit up for me, and I'm like, I wonder if I can click on that. Sure can. But yeah, so this one here is going to be coal. And it's going to be coal in and coal out, so let's mark that real quick. That reach, bro, right? But anyway, so right here, this is going to be our coal building, and then we're going to put a giant building right next to it, and it's going to be iron. And it's basically going to be, I'm trying to decide if I'll be able to combine all three little buildings into one tier 3 building. I might actually be able to, based on the way I build it. Like, the way I build it and the way I play it, it might work. I got everything other than the uranium and stone copper. I got 1 million and 2 million of iron. Oh yeah. The hard part is when you're trying to balance resources really, really late game. When you're playing, like, because I have maxed out enemies. If I were to, like, run right here and throw down a radar, it would be just maxed out enemies once you get past the main area. And that was part of the whole point of this level, or the point of this world, was to be a tug-of-war style map. That was the intent. Alright, I need to figure out something here with our coal. Coal, back up for a minute. We're gonna... I gotta figure out how I want to do this. Okay. Because we're gonna throw down... We're gonna throw down, like, right there. Okay. Yeah, so much space. So much space. The way that I play with my mods, that will probably be enough space for me to do all three of these buildings in one of those. Probably. We'll just have to see. Because the processing, the thing you have to realize is, like, that's a lot of processing, but it's limited based off of the height. Like, that big building, I can run them only this long or whatever, only like 8 or 10 deep, but I can run it like an extra 4 stacks, or double the height of it, which is where it's like, this will be enough. Alright, while you guys are doing that, I'm gonna tear that up. What song is this? Journey of the Prairie King. Final boss and ending. Final boss? What final boss? No one told me there was a boss in Stardew. What the heck? Although, to be fair, Stardew is one of those, like, sandbox style games that I don't know if I ever actually beat it. I mean, I got to a point where I basically had everything and just kind of got bored, you know? It's like, I think my farm was producing, like, what was it? It was like, dark matter crashes before it loads. Just try the quarry mod instead then. The quarry one would work probably pretty well for what you're doing. The other thing to consider is if I have recursion done, I could also potentially throw the buildings inside the big building. So, like, I could do a little building right here, have all the ore flow into that little building, and then just have it output into either a medium building into another building. See, and that's where recursion gets kind of silly, is you can literally be like, I have one building and I'm going to have a bunch of little buildings in it, and that's it. Which technically, and I don't know, do I have recursion set up? Sure do. Yuck. It's like the most overpowered function in this game is recursion. Man, it's such a big building. Look at all this space. Oh my gosh. Alright, and you're finally done, so let's pick you up. So you guys are doing good. You guys will just about polish off that patch. Problem is the next building should go right there, and it's right on the edge of glory. Alright, let's see. We're gonna yank out... Oh, there was one there, and there's no resources there. Gotcha. I was super confused. I was like, wait, how come there's nothing there? It's because there was already one there. Did 2k science per minute in one building. See, that's just excessive. That's just excessive. I mean, it's doable, but it's excessive. Alright, let's see here. How do I want to do this? Alright, we're gonna take this out of the equation. And we're gonna redo this. Because I want to throw him here. Like that. And so if this is gonna feed in here, you're feeding into a chest. Okay, so from here, and we're gonna try and run a second line out as well. Level up. That kills my power, yeah, yeah. Stardew is definitely one of those, though, that, like, over time, I really wouldn't mind playing more of it. The problem is, at the moment, there's just so much fun stuff going on that it's like, I can't justify just, like, there's only certain games that I will, like, pause everything else for. Okay, let's see here. Because you're still all jacked, right? Ah, you actually have some space. That's better than you were. Okay. You are supposed to be a copper output. You're supposed to be a stone output, as well as him. And the stone process goes on and goes into the processing building, which will end up being probably a medium-sized building in the long run. But like coal, it'll be one building. And the idea is, if I can literally build my base off of single building concepts, that'd be legit. Because then I'd be able to just set up the initial bus. It'd be pretty big, pretty wide, and then it would just go. The main issue is just there's still so much resource. See, this one was at 100k a minute ago, and now we're down to 70. So it is that size of a drill is gonna burn through it fairly quickly. All right, how are we doing over? Where did I put it? Here. All right, you have enough steel again. You're working on that. You don't have enough for the substations, but again, the substations take more steel, which I don't have excess of at the moment. All right. I'm trying to get my second building out because this is going to be iron. The next one's going to be copper. Alright, so I got to figure out what I'm doing in here. The original idea was to do something to this effect. More drills. Eventually there will be more drills. At the moment, I just don't have... I need to have a building set up to accept that much resource before I start. Alright, so we're going to do the classic double out. So we're going to have 4 outputs, 2 on each side, like that. And then the way that my world is designed, I need to get, I need stone. Yo, bro, I need a couple stacks of stone. Now, I picked up all of that, yes? Yes, I did. Okay. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna actually steal this and plug it in on the back. And then I need steel for that as well. Alright. Lol. Give some of it back. It's gonna take a while for it to finish anyway, so it's like, who cares? Alright, so the idea being, I want to have an input here for iron. I can run probably 2 side views of processing in this building, and that will probably be enough. Or I set it up to do 4, but then I have to have some kind of an intermediary chest and then processing. There's no way in heck I'd be able to feed the processing on that, though, is the issue. All right, let me show you what I'm thinking of in my brain right now. Don't be making gears. I have that. I don't have a belt maker, but I do have a gear maker. It's because my base is in a constant stage of reconstruction. It's a lot of science. Alright, so I need to come look at this. Alright, this is completely run out. The idea is that I'm doing stacked iron plates instead of regular plates on the output. That way my bus, instead of being 4 belts wide, is only 2 belts wide. And it'll still feed the same equivalent of, what is that? You have 2 belts per, it's basically 5 times more efficient when it comes to moving ore. You still then have to reprocess it back out to normal ore, but that's okay, who cares? You know, that's easy. This one up too while we're at it. What am I doing? Robots, you do it. You're much faster than me. Okay, so we got you, you're done, which is good. You're done. The goal is ultimately to pick up this building and stick it back here, because this building is full of iron. And so I can literally pick that up, put it here, and then turn around and dump it into the building. Alright, so we're going to be doing something to the effect of this. A 1 in. So what I'm thinking right now is I'm trying to figure out how to process this and store this correctly so that it's got the maximum storage. Because I only have that much space across to do everything I want to do with it. Mind you, a lot of it is very efficient, very space efficient. Part of it's because of the mods I'm using. So basically, those are my inputs for this. So if I take this and go Stardew has a really cool soundtrack. It is a lot of fun. Okay, with that, I can now pick up this building. Now all the iron is going to go in here. So here's what I'm thinking, okay? I'm thinking something to this effect. The idea is we'll have basically like how do I want to do it? Crafting speed of 2. I have fast, so that's okay. Basically, it's going to be something to this effect. I just don't know what scale of how deep it's going to be. It's going to be something like this. Alright, so we're going to go in, out, in, out. The in being that one. Okay. Now that I've got my thing down, I've got my blueprints, and now I can start building it. Because here's the deal, okay? With the mods I'm using, I process the iron from iron to pure iron, okay? And then when you smelt pure iron, it takes two pure iron gives you 3 plates, okay? And so basically what we're dealing with here is typically if you do iron, in order to have iron in and then plate out and have the amount of iron in versus the plate out be a full belt out, it's typically 10 to 12 smelters deep, okay? Because we have the processing in between, it cuts that in half. So instead of, because it's a 50% increase, right? So that means, let's say I would do 12 normally. Instead, it would only be 8 max. Okay, and that's your ratios, trying to balance your ratios out. And that's where this gets a little annoying, is because it's like trying to do the math on that. It's like, so in theory, if we were to come, man, there's just so much space to waste. Is the problem. And then we're going to immediately, oh yeah, that's right, we're going to immediately stack it up too while we're at it. So my guess is, if we did 1, 2, 3, I could do 3 across. Like, that's a lot. What is this song? Oh, Sam's Band Heavy. That's right. Sam's Band is a rock band. They're playing Rock Band. Okay. So if we run this here, the nice thing though is here, now that we're starting to build our final base, at least for this island world, this will work really well. Eventually, and here's the deal, here's the fun part about Factorio. You can play it as long as you want and build it as big as you want. So you can start it off small and then go big. I was about to say I'm not a huge fan of Sam's Band Heavy, but it's only a minute long, so who cares? by the time you go, I don't like this, it's gone. That might be enough. Well, the idea here is that the amount, and this is where I have to like tweak with it and mess with it to see what the actual ratio is, because like, how many purification chambers do you need in the background to then feed the foreground, right? Because it's like, I'm gonna end up doing basically the exact same thing as this, except for with these guys behind. So I'm gonna be doing this with, let's get another blueprint. Like, literally, it's going to be the exact same thing. That's the nice part of this, is that it's very modular, it's very easy to build. You just keep rebuilding, rehashing the same thing. The problem is I don't know how much of this I need to feed this. And so what I'm going to do here is we're going to go... Alright, I need red circuits, which I should be filtering off all of the excess red circuits up here in this guy. And the main thing is this is just super spaghetti and it's super nasty, which is why I'm trying to get off of this. Yeah, there we go. Bunch of reds. Perfect. So if we do it this way... Wait, it's only 3. It's not 4, right? It's only 3. Yeah, it's only 3. Okay. So from here, we're going to go... Oh man, that one's off too. It's just in the way. Actually, no, that works perfect. Because I can feed it directly in. I forgot. That one might be an issue though, because I'll have to up and... it should be fine. It'll work. Like that. And then these guys, it's literally feed him in. And the nice thing is this will be super crisp and super clean after I build it. So by the time I'm done building this whole thing, it'll be very clean. Like you'll step in and it's a very pristine factory. The whole thing is just going to be clean, super clean. I just don't know how much of this I'm going to need to feed this. And then again, how much more of this will I need to then basically solidify a belt is the idea. The idea is to make it where these will only be as deep as it takes to make one full belt, and then from there I'll have enough of this to then feed that to feed the belt. That's the design idea. Hard part to do this though is I need to do an output so I can start seeing what I'm at. Okay, input is this line. And then this is one part where I made a mistake. I should have flipped it around on the 1. I'm smarter. I'll make it work. See, so what I'm doing is I'm flipping it so that way when I tell these guys to start making pure iron, see, that way the iron will input on the one side and then this will output, and then that's the correct input for the other output. See? Now notice 4 of these are basically feeding 2, and that's it. Meaning we're going to need at least at least 4 to feed, or we're going to need 8 to feed 4 at least. it is keeping up, even though it's in hang on, I'm watching it. Now, technically, I need to look at this. Yeah, if I want it level across, that's as far as I can go, because this is in the way. So that part's fine. Alright, all 4 are running. Are you running at maximum efficiency? Basically. So 8 will feed 4, but look at our belt. Our output's not very high. So if we assumed it was going to be that deep, more stone. There we go. Oh, there we go. I need more stone. And now, here's the deal. Ultimately, it doesn't need to be a full output belt, because if you think about it, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, only 4 outputs. Okay? So technically, it doesn't need to be a full belt. Do this and see, because we figured it was approximately 8 per, so that means one of these is still not going to get, one set of this is still not going to be fed at this rate. So this much processing versus this much smelting, we're still going to have the very end 2 probably that are not going to run at all with that ratio. Now mind you though, that seems like a pretty respectable belt throughput, though. It's about 50%. Yeah, and that's about as much as I can reasonably get away with there. Yeah, and the very, very end 1 is not functioning at all. Part of this whole design that we're working on here is to also see where we can cut it off at. Like, I could probably cut the very end 1 off completely, so I could, or cut the first one off here completely. Because at the moment they're basically getting wasted. So like, for example, if I yank out this guy. Okay, so now we're feeding 10 instead of 12. If you look at it, it actually looks exact. Because if you watch right here at the very, very, very end, literally there's 2 waiting. Now here's the question though, can these output as fast as they're smelting? Yeah, basically. But like, that's exactly perfect. That much processing for this much smelting is exactly correct. Like 100% correct. So that means I can yank. We're gonna yank that up. And we're gonna slide it down, because that is basically maxed space. Because you have to realize we're also gonna be having potentially this entire building's worth running that. So with that in mind, we're gonna yank this up. Now here's the hard part. I need to... We decided on 10, correct? That is exactly perfect. Wow. I mean, we'll take it. That's awesome. I just didn't think it was going to be that perfect. So it's like... Oh. So now, if you look, we can literally get rid of those recipes because we only need one now. We need this recipe right here. Like this. Problem is, at this point, I need the electric furnaces going. And what I'll probably do is I'll probably throw down a building with efficiency modules. Start building efficiency modules. That way we can save a bunch of resources here. Alright, I need a bunch of these guys. And then I need a bunch of these guys. Okay, so interesting story here. Well, it's interesting for me, let's put it that way. Story. So growing up, I had 5 sisters and 2 brothers, okay? And I had, bottoms are feeding. But anyway, so I had 5 sisters and 2 brothers. My brothers were both varying ages from me, okay? So like, my older brother is 8 years older than me, and my younger brother is 5 years younger than me. So there's like a minimum of a 5-year gap between me and the next boy, okay? I was at the very bottom of the whole upper sloop, right? Because I'm like the dead middle child. So I had 3 older sisters and an older brother, and then we ended up adopting a couple on the bottom, okay? So we ended up adopting 3 at the very end. So I tell you that story to tell you this story. Because of having that specific family and that family dynamic, I was experienced to every chick flick under the sun, okay? Because I had so many sisters. And so, like for example, what is it, the Swiss Family Robinsons was like the #1 movie watched. No, Seven Brides for Seven Brothers. That's what it was. Seven Brides for Seven Brothers was the #1 show watched in my family. Straight up, like that was it. And I bring that up because I right now, like, my wife watches a decent amount of chick flicks, and there's a chick flick that she's been watching a lot lately. That it's a fun one. It's a cute little show, but it's stuck in my head. So like I'm sitting here and I've got the line, "You girls better eat all these pizzas," stuck in my head. But it's from that show. It's called Sleepover. It's got the girl from Spy Kids in it. And then that's it. I don't like the entire cast. I know one of the actors, and that's it. Oh no, I lied 2. I know the main girl and the main guy. The main guy is from the movie, was it Forever Strong? Is that what it's called? Is that the movie, Forever Strong? It's a rugby movie. And that one, oh my goodness, my dad loves that one. It's a good movie. Don't get me wrong, it's a great movie. But golly, like that's a movie. Okay, we're at 12 megawatts and we're not even a third of the building. You want to talk about pollution? Like, we're gonna be there. Alright, do I have more? I have 6. Okay. So here's what I want. I want to step in, come over here. And we're just gonna say, hey, build efficiency modules. And we're gonna give you productivity to cut our resource hogging in half. Because the ultimate goal is to give this entire room, which means I really should stop top half actually. I really should stop the top half and then fix the bottom half and then template it. I'm doing this so that I can throw efficiency modules on this and then blueprint the entire thing and just go bloop. Now, interesting thing here, with the copper side, I'm trying to decide if I want to make it the same size, because that's really big. Real big. We could try to do the same size. We'll see. We'll see if we can. We'll see if, because there are very specific things that require lots of ore, but only very specific things. So it's like, is it worth it to dump that much resource into something that you only need like twice? So, alright, let's see here. I want to take that and that, and a bunch more of these. It's not big. What do you mean? What do you mean, Nick? To 19. Sweet. Now, if I remember right, these all have 2. Yeah. So we're only going to be dropping it by 60%. But 60% is still not bad. Yeah, like the iron. Just about done with our first string. Good golly. So much power. Are you done? You are done. Perfect. Oops. I still don't follow your... Quarry doesn't work either? What version are you playing on, man? If it's giving you so much grief, like what version are you on? Yeah, look at that. And it's great because we're gonna have 6 inputs of iron outfitting onto 4 belts. Well, it's not even gonna be 4 belts, honestly. In the long run, it'll end up being less than that. Like, it'll probably be 4 outputs to the first block, and then from there it'll be a double. Wait, let's see. 17.56. What? You guys make it no sense. The iron ore production is too small. Whose iron ore production is too small? It was trying to find an item and it can't find it. See, I'm way too tired. Are you guys being facetious or what? Ooh, text message. Message for you, son. My dad has that as his ringtone. Ooh, goodness gracious. Oh, goodness gracious. Ooh, goodness gracious. So, go away. Right, right. Look how this thing goes. Something has access to your account, and I go, I know, I gave it to it. One of my favorite dirt moments about, you know, cybersecurity. This program has access to your files. I know, I told it it could. Alright, so we're gonna grab you. Now here, can I? Doesn't let you do that. I really wish they would change that so you can do that. There we go. Oh my gosh, my phone. I love hitting send and having it not send. Gotta love that. Tanks, huh? Heavy cannon turrets. My goal is to get us to, and I might actually try to set up a nuclear reactor this time. I don't typically build nuclear reactors in this game, not generally. But yeah, we'll see. More steel, T95 mod. Okay, so let me explain a pet peeve of mine, okay? When you guys post a 6-word post that's in reference to something either you're doing or something that I did, and I don't look at the chat for 4 minutes, I see your 6-word post and it makes 0 sense to me. It's annoying as heck because it's like it's kind of like when your friend is telling a story and then you interject like 6 words and you go, oh yeah this, and oh yeah that, and then someone later gets just your half of the conversation and goes, huh? Because they're like, what the heck is that person talking about, you know? Oh golly, so much bell. But yeah, needless to say, at this exact minute, I have 0 idea what you guys are talking about for your last like 6 posts. Yeah, this is where I'm not doing real great. Our power is officially screwed. I need more steel. We need more money. Alright, and then I need more. Oh. Hang on a second. I dare declare that there's enough space for me to feed that right in. But yeah, so basically I have no idea what you guys are talking about for your last like 6 or 7 posts. Not a clue. The funniest part is you guys are like talking to each other about it at the same time, like, yeah, this and this, and you both go, yeah, and I'm like, huh? I'm like, what? What's going on? Some copper. What is this one? Alex's keepsake. I wonder what the deal is about his keepsake. Seems to be a bit of an emotional piece. Whoops, I forgot to get more things there. Alright, I am missing 6. I really need like an actual copper output. Give me that. How many am I making? Like 4? There are no droid assemblies for which this group can retreat to? Oh. The quarry mod looks for an item and it can't find it, so I don't know, maybe I should change the version. What version are you playing on? 1739? I play 1739. The nice thing about this is I can turn around and duplicate the entire thing and put it there, although preferably I'm hoping to be onto the next thing past that. Because this is pretty good power, but I would much rather go... where is it? See, we have to get to advanced processing, and then advanced fuses, and then go to power generation 2, and then very late game will be to power generation 3. Power generation 3 is the shiz. It is so good. 1, 2. I need 2 more. Literally, I just dump all of my stats into crafting. I put 1 or 2 into movement and then the rest into crafting, and that's it. Oh no, 1 turret is being damaged. Where it says 16 are engaged and 1 is being damaged, typically that's a good thing. Yeah. Because it means we're winning. There we go. LOL. Looking at the pollution inside the building. That's funny. So we'll hurry and finish these 2, and then that'll give me a baseline for power. Oh, that would be another time to... Ooh, yeah, that's right. I need to get an MK3 building and start playing with yokai as well. Here. Power. Eco turbine. I doubt I have it. Oh no. Did yokai not have a tech tree? Well, it did, but it seems like we're already done with it. Because, yeah, all of this is NP utils that I see here. Yokai seems to be done already. Really? I'm just looking for Yokai or whatever. Really? It only needed that much science for me to get everything? It doesn't make any sense. Unless I put the game in, unless I put the mod in first and then put the tech tree in second, so it already had all the recipes unlocked. Because basically what I'm looking at is these guys here. Huge generator S's. Very, very good. If you can set up a power generation station, yeah, like you'll build like 10 and it'll feed a mega base. Like, it's so efficient. Really, really cool. Very efficient. And it's not even super hard to build either, which is cool. There are much nastier technologies. That one's too small. Here, can I go? Let's go like that. And plug you guys back in. There we go. At this point, I'm just like, harvest everything! And you guys are harvesting like mad, and you're passing your stuff along like mad, and you're feeding this in really well, which is awesome. Alright, feed that, feed that. Continue to produce. What are we missing up here? 18? Can I build 18? Nope, sure can't. Come here, bots. We're gonna come up here to the this guy here. Yeah, 800 reds. Yeah, see, our oil production is pretty pitiful right now. Heavy oil is stable. That one is stable. I mean, everything is getting turned into petrol to run that. We're just not producing oil fast enough. Yeah. And that's where, like, getting to coal liquefaction would be nice. If we can get just coal liquefaction going, then we can bump our oil production to whatever we need, and it's not a problem. And then once this is done, this will be well good to go. Let's see here. Failed to load mods quarry, define flesh, attempt to find index, and field and null value stack. Yeah, I've had that error in the past too, and I don't know what fixes it. It's one of those dumb ones where it's like, I don't know why it's there, you know? Yeah, I saw it, Nate. I saw your error code. I'm sorry it's giving you that, because I don't 100% know how to fix it, is the problem. Alrighty. Yeah, sadly that's one of those weird errors that I don't know myself how to get rid of it or how to solve it. And the versions get so hokey where, like, and like, honestly, I applaud the mod makers for being able to do as well as they do, because if you think about it, they end up balancing one mod or more across multiple versions. Mind you, at a certain point they stop updating the older versions, right, and they move on with the game as the game updates. The hard part is where it's like you've got a game that is currently or constantly evolving, like this one, and then as it goes, it's like, oh, such and such mod group or whatever got so far and then stopped. So it's like they kept up till this version, and then it stopped. So like you're jumping along with the updates. It's like Factorio update this, Factorio update that, and then you stop and go, wait, what happened to these 3 mods? And you turn and look, and they stopped being updated 6 months ago. You're just like, oh, so we'll just have to fight through it. Hopefully you can find stone. You got dark matter working, but now got to find the base materials to start it. Yes. Again, that's a funny one where quarry would have been useful, because you could have quarried some of the starting resources. But yeah, if you can get the starting resources for it, that one's a great one. Oh yeah, I'm doing I'm hand building stuff. Alright, so I need the nice thing as far as setting up copper is it's literally just a blueprint of this room. Mind you, it's this much crap to do, though. So it's going to be a pain in the butt, for sure. Sneak out and go get more gears. See, something that always blew my mind about this game is that from a what's the word? From a like building your base standpoint, at a certain point you run out, like the base game was eventually you ran out of science. There were no infinite researches way back in the day. And so eventually you ran out of stuff to do. And you're literally just like, well, now what? And you would get to a point where you're like, and I'm done, and you would turn and stop. Like you would tear up all your science making because you were done. There was no more beyond that. So I can make a zillion of these. And then we're getting enough damage dealt over here. I want to make sure we get it cleaned up here. Oh, I'm out of... Are there any more damage upgrades or... Advanced. Advanced radar. Our next upgrade is locked behind a wall of research. turrets. We've got cannons. Prototype artillery. Oh, I don't have any stuff for that. Oh, goodness gracious. Hang on. Takes 25 miners to make an Omega drill. Okay, so let's go to this guy and get rid of all of the normal miners. I'm like, that's a lot of space being used up. Cat! Oh, hello! Hey! Turned around and the cat is sitting in my box.
Oh, bud. Got your winker. Person. There we go. Nice, sweetie.
Sorry, gotta love the cat. The cat demandeth attention.
Oh, boy. If you want to come sit snuggle on my lap, kitty, you're more than welcome to.
I'm always down for you to snuggle on my lap during my streams. Eventually, I'll wanna, once this is all built and functional, I'll wanna get to where we're doing like automatic, more automatic making of certain items. Yeah, see, this guy's almost burned out, which I'm ecstatic for. We'll get that burned out, and then I can set down my first building for iron output. And then these drills will flip around to the back. Hey, we finished up a spot up here. Whew. That cattail just scared the crap out of me. Hey, kitty. Cat just walked along underneath me and like touched me with his tail. Scared the crap out of me. There we go. Just let those guys go nuts. It's nice though, because like you can see the patches where they're finishing up. I'm half tempted to throw one more out and feed it in, but that's okay. We don't need it right now. Alright, so this looks good. This is getting there. It's funny because I'm gonna just finish like building the inside of this building, and that's gonna fill up, and then it's gonna backfill. It's gonna be like, yay! Stops. What is this one? Piano solo, Elliot's theme. Yeah, a lot of this is pretty chill. Yeah, you guys are full because you're not crazy. Right. Buttercup Melody.
What, kitty? Hey, come here. Come on. Come on.
There's your good boy. That's your Tigger. So what I might do today is, it's 6 o'clock. How long have I been streaming? Hour and a half? I need to potentially step away and go do something for a second. So, as a dude, and the resident male of the household, when it comes to fixing things, I need a droid assembler. Droid assembler. Oh, Andy's gone. Bye-bye! That's a lot of bad guys coming. My goal is to get us swapped off of the traditional ammunitions and over to lasers as soon as possible. Because if we can start getting lasers going and then just continue the solar theme, then we should be pretty good. Alright, let's drop. If I put a loader on there, huh? See, this was my original get my oil started place up here. I had to get enough oil started so that I could start the Bioindustries oil. And then once I got that, then I was good. So just have to, yeah, sorry, that's your really old message from forever ago, but it's all good. Alright, so, how are we doing here? Let's get rid of that, and that, and that. Old stuff. Kitty is chewing on my box. Bless his heart. Apparently that's something that my in-laws did. You can say whatever horrible crap you want to about someone as long as you say bless their heart first. I did not know that was in the rules. Oops, I need more green circuits, and then I need more red circuits. The amount that's actually being produced in there is quite pitiful. Don't judge. That's because I built it and I went,
Really, Tigger?
took it out. So if you guys are interested, and I gotta ask you this, that Rich is still hilarious. Oh yeah. If you guys are interested, here in the next little while, like, so I'll probably stream this for another hour or something, and then I'll probably stop, and then I might throw together my medieval castle. It's my 3D puzzle. I like them because they're really cheap, like these puzzles that I bought. I bought the pirate ship. There's like a game store / kids store nearby my house, and as my wife wanted to go there because we had never been in. And so we get there and we're walking through, and it's like, oh, this is pretty cool. You know, all kinds of cool toys, and very sciencey, very like down to earth kids store. You know what I mean? Like they had like wooden swords and wooden shields, and they had like the kinetic sand and Kinects and stuff. Like very down to earth, very nitty gritty toy store. Very cool. And so we're sitting there, and I'm looking at this. I'm like, this is really cool. And then I need to connect this. And while we were there, we were looking at all the different games and stuff they had available. And one of the ones they had available was the 3D puzzles. And I was like, that's really cool. I really like 3D puzzles. I think they're some of my favorites. And so I bought a little metal one of the Titanic for my dad for Father's Day. And then I bought the pirate ship. And then I was like, after, like, I had an absolute blast building the pirate ship. It took me about 45 minutes to build it. But it was slow at the beginning because I had no idea what I was doing, and I was still trying to figure out the instructions. Now I know how to do it, and it's much faster. But if you guys are interested in watching, I'll build I would build the next one if you guys wanted to watch. Just let me know if you're interested. What is the puzzle made of? It's laminated styrofoam, I think. The idea is that it's a no glue, no scissors. Everything force feeds together. So like the pieces will have like a little cutout, and then there'll be like a little lip, and then when that piece connects in, it literally just like pushes through like that, and they're all force fed together. And they've got like cannons. They've got, let's see, I'm trying to see what this one has. This is one of the castles that it folds shut into a castle, and then it opens up. And then you can see everything on the inside. So like this one has a drawbridge, it has a crossbow, it has a couple knights, a lot of knights, it has a king, another crossbow, a prison, a dragon, multiple 3-tiered towers. Trying to see. The front shows a lot more. So it's got a drawbridge, a rope bridge, a 3-tiered tower, 4 2-tiered towers, a moat, a dragon, and then like 7 or 8 knights, it looks like. Pretty cool. I'm down to watching. It might be something cool to look into. Yeah. I just had an absolute blast building the first one, which is where if you guys would be interested, because like let me rephrase. I'm building it whether or not you guys are watching. I'm asking, do you guys want to watch? Because there we go. Basically, it's whether or not I build it by myself or whether I build it on stream. Because if it's just me, then I'm just gonna, once I finish the stream, I'll go upstairs and build it. But the thing I need to do regardless though is I need to go set up something real fast and then come back. So I might pause this, go set up something, come back real quick. One of the projects I've been working on is I've been thawing out our freezer, because you're supposed to do that every so often, and I didn't. My bad. And so the idea is I want to finish thawing out the freezer. have to see what I can do as far as the webcam goes, because I have one webcam there. In theory, I don't know if I threw it away. I had the other webcam, but it was all hokey and was getting all goofy. If I can find the other one, then I'll try to set it up where I have two webcams going. Because what I would do is I would just blow up the screen, get rid of the green screen, set up my table right here, and then build it. Someone's taking damage over here. Yeah, see, the issue is we have enough turrets, and the choke point is solid, but it's still not the best option. Alright, can I go... It says I need more engines. Yeah, see, I'm not producing enough steel. Okay, I can't see. I have my thing turned way up. Heavy MG turret, light cannon, dual cannon, rocket turret. Okay, let's go turrets real quick. Gatling turret. And it has a slowdown round I can use if I want. A Gatling gun. With my new iron production, I could make more steel. Well, the issue is that the steel that I need for this location, I just ran out of space to build more steel. Thus, the whole, I'm going for the MK3 buildings because they're bigger. But yeah, these guys are doing great. This guy's doing great. What I'll probably do is set up a line that goes down and across and then feeds into the coal building. And then I'll set up a thing out here for an output and then have it feed in. Alright, anything else I'm missing in here? I think this building's officially done, which is great because, like I said, this will be backed up and it'll stop producing the second I finish, which was correct, factually correct. I might end up keeping this little building on the back. I can pull one off, make it a 4 and a 4, or have this feed in across to the 4 and then feed across back in. Yeah, we'll probably work something out. I'll probably end up keeping this little building on the back, except for I'll balance it better. I'll pick it up and put it right in the dead center once this is done, and then I can start harvesting this and dumping it into the little one again. The goal here is to start pushing back the enemies, really, and then establish a full wall out there, and then have some automated repair robots that'll fly along the wall and repair it automatically for me. Again, I mean, I'm up to blue science, and I'm still not happy enough with the base design to automate it. Go figure, huh? Back to the van? Yeah. Okay, Okay, we're to a point here and here where this needs to be adjusted. Yeah. Alright, we're going to tear up. Oh, I forgot it's going to do that. Oh, no, it didn't. It stopped. How much is in here? A lot. I want to make this bigger and better. Iron needs steel. I'm gonna just upgrade the building so that it has more storage in it, and then we'll just call it from there on that project. The goal was to continue to work on the freezer today, but I don't know if I'm gonna actually get to it or not. We'll see. The hard part here is if you look at it, my iron bus wants to run right across the coal, so the coal's a problem. Alright, so we got one more. I need iron and steel, so let's go. Nope, not that one. This one. Perfect. Something went bump in the night. It's probably the sketchy neighbors. Sadly enough, I have a handful of those. Yeah, that's actually going to work out nicely. It's a nice tight fit. Lots of resource storage. Need more steel. And for some reason we're still not plugged in, so let's fix that. I really need to just start getting to substation everywhere, get rid of the other stuff and just go to substation because the substations are better. That way I'm not in the dock. Cool. Alright. Now we can go input. I'm gonna build this using a warehouse, just because it makes it easier to put multiple inputs in without having to readjust. Like that. And then I literally just go plug in right there. But yeah, like that. That way I can have 11 sets of drills up here and then plug them all into the one crate, one warehouse, and then have it feed in. There we go. And then I want to do that for this room. And I need steel. Give me your steel. And we need iron. And then I'll probably set up a crate there as well, and then have everything feed into the crate, and then I'll have another crate on the outside as the output. The idea being just to have a massive system for all of the resources as we get them. And this is a very, very serious level of backup here. This song, I actually like this one. This is The Mines, Marimba of Frozen Bones. Interesting. Cool. What are we at? 2 hours? Okay. Probably not getting to the freezer again today. Problem is it's 6 o'clock now. If I started it now, the issue with it is that I have to keep running up and checking on it because it makes a huge freaking mess. Mind you, my wife would appreciate it if I did do it. Did you ever hate that when you're like, I don't want to do it. I should do it, but I don't want to do it. Yeah, I'm having one of those days. All right, hang on. Let me come snag all that. Oh, sorry, I'm not trying to run away from my robot. Have 2 buildings, so 1, 2, I need 2 more. Okay, all right, I'm gonna step away for a second. I'm gonna go start the freezer. It'll take me about, so everyone, potty break. We're gonna call it potty break. It's gonna take me about 5 minutes max to set this up. Really, it'll take about a minute and then I'll be done, so. And then I'll be back down. And then I just have to be on like a 45-minute to an hour timer to go check on it because it makes a huge freaking mess in the laundry room. So anyway, I'll be right back. And then the plan is I'll probably stream for another 45 minutes-ish, or probably another half hour after this, and then I'll quit and then start up the medieval castle building stream. So give me 1 sec. So as you all know, everything and everyone has mental health, right? And as part of learning and understanding that, you learn that your animals have mental health. And you find that it's wise to spend time with your animals so that they, and your pets, that way they're happy and healthy, right? I have noticed recently that my cats are in a greater need for some emotional time, and so I've been spending more time with the cats lately, and they're much happier because of it. And so part of my streaming thing is, in general, they always come and kind of freak out at the end of my streams anyway. Like, they'll come sit here and just meow at me for the last like 2 hour, hour and a half of my stream. And so because of that, what I've been doing is I try to start the streams at like 2 and be done by 6, and then I spend from 6 to the end of the day upstairs with the cats. As part of that, it also means that I'm not spending as much time on my main computer, and I'm spending more time on my laptop if I'm still on the computer. Alright, this has got to change here. Tear that up. Which was this one? Journey of the Prairie. Yeah, this is the final boss song, which I didn't know there was a final boss in Stardew. I'm really considering playing Stardew more. It is such a good game. Level 2. Level 2 drill. Which is good, because this area is super stressful. Hack that out. There we go. Trying to stay connected without having to be such a pain in the butt. Holy crap, that thing is fast. Whoa. I've never done that before. That was funny. Okay. Part of the plan and the goal here is to clean this up. I sincerely think that Stardew Valley is one of the best games ever made. Stardew, Terraria, Factorio, all indie style games. Very, very basic graphics, relatively basic mechanics, very sandboxy, but all a ton of fun. idea is that I'll be able to set up 2 level 2 drills and then just work my way down. Okay, so the show that's stuck in my head, right? It's a kids show. It's a teenager chick flick. Like the time frame of the story is you have a girl who is about to enter 9th grade. She's about to enter high school, and her best friend from, like, her best youthful friend or whatever that she grew up with is become kind of the popular girl, and she's a real jerk about it. And so her other best friend is moving, and so she's freaking out because she's like, my one best friend is, too popular now, and then she's literally about to enter high school, so she's like 9th grade, and she's like, I'm gonna get there, and she's like, I'll have no friends, no social status, no nothing, and I'll be entering high school with nothing, and she's like, and then I'm gonna just have an absolutely horrible high school experience, basically, is what she's afraid of. And so the basis of it is it's the spring break. She's having a spring break slumber party, and her mom goes out to do her thing out with friends or whatever, and then so then she has a slumber party and dad's babysitting while mom's gone. And what ends up happening is they end up having this whole ordeal where it's like the brother is home from college, and he's not doing well in college, and he's home from college, and so like you end up with the sister is trying to have, the main character, she's trying to have a slumber party, and the mom is over controlling, or it's one of those, the mom's afraid afraid for her to grow up kind of a thing. Like the mom needs to let her grow up, but she's too afraid to, kind of a thing. Just saying, I don't know why I bothered. At this point, I might as well just go. And I have too much steel now. But anyway, it's an interesting story. It's really, really funny, is the fun part. Absorb some of that, will you? Get rid of that extra wood. Get rid of those extra poles. But anyway, so basically it's like they end up doing one last big party or whatever before the friend moves away, before her best friend moves away. And the whole point of it is the other girl, the popular girl, decides to pick a fight with her. And so they end up deciding to do like a scavenger hunt face-off kind of thing, and whoever wins the scavenger hunt gets the popular spot at school or whatever. And so the idea is it's her trying to like claim some level of like cool status or whatever, or some level of something, and it's the last thing before her friend leaves, kind of a thing. So really, really cute show. Take like, there we go. I was like, you take something else that you're not telling me about. But anyway, it's a really cute show. It's got the guy from, I think it's the guy from The Office. Is the other guy? That's right. I think there's three of the people. No, 4. No, I lied. It's a pretty big cast. The mom is the lady from Wreck-It Ralph, the laser lady or whatever. So that's the mom. And then the main girl is the girl from Spy Kids, and then the boy, the love interest or whatever, he's from Forever Strong and a bunch of other sports / religious movies, and then yeah, it's just a real cute show. I just like it. I think it's funny because it's very like a lot of it's very like realistic, very down to earth. Like, yeah, this is what kids go through going through high school, middle school into high school and everything. So like they hit that part right on the head. What's the name of the show? The name of the show is called Sleepover. The show's called Sleepover, and it's cute. It's a funny one. It's one of those where my wife made me watch it, and I'm like, ugh. And then I watched it and went, gosh dang it, she's right, it's cute. It's a cute show. But yeah, definitely a lot of fun. It's fun though because the guy from The Office, he is the mall cop or rent-a-cop for the city, and he's kind of an idiot. He's kind of an idiot, which is part of the fun. And he a lot of it is like them like sneaking out. Like the whole thing. Wow, those are loud. The whole thing takes place basically over the course of the day, and it's pretty funny. They end up sneaking out and having this big party, and so it's like her and 3 or 4 of her friends, and they bring the one unpopular girl with them, and it's because the main girl is really nice. She's a really nice girl, despite everything that she's going through. Wow, that is fast. Tier 2 for the win, man. And you're officially out. So the goal here is, as these are finishing... Oh! Pardon me. I forgot there's a 3rd slot in that. Okay. But yeah, I have that song, or I have that show stuck in my head. Like, there's a scene where part of the scavenger hunt is, or part of the whole ordeal is that the rent-a-cop guy or whatever is like trying to keep them from like having fun or whatever. He's just like, you guys are, you adolescent kids and your parties and always getting in trouble and blah 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 blah. And so he's kind of an over the top kind of character. Yay, I finished. I win. I'm seriously considering throwing down a 3rd rail over or whatever. Here, let's do that. My thought here is I want to square this off and then throw an extra rail on it. See, there are 2 or 3 chick flicks that I've actually found to be pretty funny or pretty good. And one of them is Sleepover. Another one is actually, it's a, what are their names? It's a Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen film. It's one of theirs, and it's actually really, really good. It's called Winning London. It's Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen, but they're on the debate team. And they get chosen to compete at nationals or worlds for debate, and the debate tournament is being held in London, England. And so you've got all these high school kids going to London, England to compete at a debate tournament. And because it's world debate, it's literally like, it's like high school world politics is what is basically the basis of it. And so they basically do a mock UN session. And so like they have a mock UN session, and they're like, the different teams have to compete, and they have to find different ways to like conquer the different issues that are going on. At one point they do a mock kidnapping where like everyone is sitting there in the room, and they have like two of the staff members run in with like, so like, you know, they've got masks on and they're all wearing all black and they have squirt guns, giant freaking squirt guns, and they run in, they like kick the door in and they run in and they grab 2 or 3 people, or I think they grab probably like 6 or 7 characters and then yank them out, and then they have to do a terrorist negotiation with that group, and so that they have to decide and try to do a negotiation as a group of nation, or as a group of the nations or whatever. So it's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool show. All right, we're gonna do this one down here, I'm thinking. But it's fun because first off, you got Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen, who are super cute. They're hot, and then well, they used to be. Let me rephrase that. They used to be really hot. Now they're okay. The one sister has not aged well. She got into some kind of like drugs or something, and she's not doing super great with that. Oh my gosh, something just happened. Alien module leveled up. There we go. I've got 3 level 2 drills. I bet you my pollution cloud is going nuts now. No, it's actually about where it was. My pollution cloud got really, really huge, and then I kind of, my base froze because I had run out of things to work on. So I was just like, but now we're moving again. But yeah, there's a handful of those shows that are really fun. Funny enough, actually one of the places where I ran into a couple extra chick flicks that I'd never seen before was actually in the military. Go figure. And it's because you pick the right chick flick, and do you know what's in the right chick flick? A lot of girls. Like there was a handful of shows that I saw, and that was the first place I'd seen them was in the military, and they were chick flick shows. And I'm like, I have 5 sisters. How have I not seen these? Like, what on earth? Like, where did these shows come from? They're like, oh yeah, these are super popular. They've been around forever. I'm like, what? Let's see here. I need this corner cleared up is the problem. Like, literally there's literally 600 here, and that's it. Like, let me go. By the time I set this up, it'll be gone. Like, oh, that's so true. Most shows and movies you've seen in the military too. Yeah, see, like, I saw, was it Heroes? The first time I saw Heroes was in the military. Because what would happen is on the weekends we would binge watch TV shows. There we go. And that one's done. But like, we binge watched a zillion shows in the military that I had never seen before. Like, the first place I saw them was in the military, which was cool, mind you. It was really cool. Got to see a lot of cool shows that way. Alright, now that we're hitting the MK2 drills, like, we are burning through these resources now, which is great. What's this one? Mines Danger. Okay. It's a cool song. Oh. Nah, there's not enough space for it. Is there enough space for it? I was gonna compact my coal, or stack my coal. Actually, you know what? If we're doing it, let's do it on this side. Another good one, Emperor's New Groove 2. Kronk's New Groove. That one's really fun. Here in a second, I'm going to call it because we're at about 2.5 hours, and then I'll do my castle stream. And then what I'm going to do here is do an output. Let's do this here. Because what I can do see, this is a really good way to restack what you already have. Hang on, I gotta run upstairs for half a sec. So part of de-thawing or frosting a freezer is all the ice comes crashing down, and so I need to go check on it and make sure it's doing all right. I just hear crashing noises, so. It's working and it looks great. It's definitely working, which is good. Yeah, see, the idea here being I want the output thing to be compacted, because if it's compacted coal that we're storing in this and then shipping it out, it's way easier and way more efficient. Actually, I feel like an idiot. If I threw 3 right there, that would be the way to do it. That's part of my stupidity right there. That's part of the reason why I went wait. Pause. I mean, we'll do that. I want to finish this part first. I just want to finish draining those. I just feel silly because it's like, there we go. See, that looks much better. I just feel dumb because it's like, why am I not harvesting it and immediately turning it into this? You know? Because it does a couple things, right? So if I go that, okay. Oh, Journey of the Prairie King. That's right. Okay, it makes more sense now. Journey of the Prairie King is the game in Stardew Valley. It's they have like a Nintendo game or whatever. They have like a, what do you call it? They have like a console game or whatever, and it's Journey of the Prairie King. And this is the music it plays. Okay, we're gonna let that go. Another good show, if you're ever looking for good shows to watch, what's it called? Video Game High School. This may look intricate and a little confusing, but it'll make sense in a minute. There we go. In theory, this is going to take it as fast as it can and stack them. You've seen Video Game High School, and it's pretty interesting. Yeah, it was pretty well done. I enjoyed it quite a bit. Something I didn't realize, the guy who, so the main character in that, the main character and the main guy and the main girl, they're actually married. So it's like he's after, like he's got the hots for his wife, which is funny. Wait, can I build that? No, I need 35 on top of the fact that I have the new stuff. It just made me laugh because it's like it's his actual wife that he's got the hots for. I don't remember if they got married before or after it was filmed, but he did end up like hooking up with and marrying her, which is cool. I thought that was cool. That's the interesting thing. It can't stack it as fast as I can harvest it. Interestingly enough. Well, again, this is where I'm trying to decide. Because I could have it go coal. I could have a triple feed of coal going here, and then have it at this point transform into the stacked coal. instead of this. See, this is the whole point of it is to do that. The problem is I can't stack it fast enough. And that's where I'm like, see, because this is gonna just fill. Yeah, this will fill so fast, and then it'll back up, and then this will fill so fast. Supposedly, now hang on. Oh yeah, that's right. We are researching backline turret mount. The problem is backline turret mount requires steel in 2 different locations is the issue, which means that's probably why it's not done. Let's go take a peek. That's probably why it's not. No, it's because we ran out of iron here. That's why. We don't have red or green being produced. We're officially ready for this. Man, this guy did such a good job on this soundtrack. And this is good because this will turn this back on. Woo. Cool. Problem is, this is, I want to send a thingy here. Well, let's do this. We're going to go like this. Because currently there's no iron at all being produced. So we'll do that. And then we'll throw a pair of outputs here. This is the, hey, we're going to start a belt line over, right? I very nearly bought a Switch this week. They announced the new Pokemon games and everything, and I lost it. I was like, yeah. There we go. See, look at how slow this is moving and how fast that is moving. This is the whole point of using these. Is the amount of ore that you can belt. Like it's the taking a bus of 11 and turning it into a bus of 1. See, and this is taking the coal and recycling it back into the stack as fast as it can. And this should turn the science back on. Yeah. We ran out of iron was the issue. Yep, see, now we're back on track. Oh, hello. Hello, not upgraded pieces. So silly. Yeah, I was gonna say, that should make that catch up immediately. Yeah, I was gonna say something to the effect of we're probably out of blue and military because of the lack of steel production in here. And then I was like, and then I turned and looked, and I was like, what happened? Something happened. What time are we getting to? Almost 3 hours. I am having fun though, so I don't want to quite hop off yet. You know, it's addictive. It's an addictive substance. All right, let's see here. start getting to lasers just because then I'm not relying on munitions. Lasers rely on my power, not on munitions. So if I could replace even the core backline with lasers, which, let's be honest, would be easy enough. I mean, I could set up just a baby one, just a baby science. Look at the huge substations. Oh, I know. Where are they? That one. I need concrete. Yo, bro, let me borrow some of your concrete and I'll drop a couple huge substations. I know they're ridiculous. I just don't understand why they don't connect to each other, though. You know, that's the part that doesn't make any sense to me. Let's see, how would I do this? If I were a huge substation, where would I want one? Probably one like right about there. So that way I could not have the power in the way over here. So it's easier to see to me. There we go. So that area is clean now with the huge... The idea is you still have to have a substation base. Like you have to have a starting of substation, or a starting of power. But then from there, it turns into whatever. It's the huge substations work great for the drills though, because it saves you this. I totally forgot about the huge substations till you mentioned it. I've used them in the past, but I forgot I had them. Yeah, and our power is suffering. At night, our power is not the best. Yeah, you can tell because the throughput just plummets. The amount of resources moving just plummets. And it's still filling. It's still filling this one. Oh, it's because these are... That's right. Electricity. Dirt to dirt. Yeah, I wanna at least cheese a couple lasers if I need to. So here, let's grab. Nope. Already have some. Okay. Let's see here. Sulfur, water, too much crap, just way too much crap. Here. I just want to cheese out some batteries so I can get some turrets. Hang on. Turret. multiple sciences that I am not ready for. Alright, I need steel. Definitely good, the turrets. I just want to replace the back line of turrets with better options. Alright, let's see here. Get rid of that, get rid of that. Those again. In fact, get rid of those at this point. I'll just grab a handful of lasers just to supplement my base defense without having to rely on the... They made it 12 batteries now. I'm really enjoying this soundtrack. I don't know about you guys, but I'm really enjoying it. Can I just say that in my brain just thought of the and just realized that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. Laser shooting speed. Lasers shoot at the speed of light. Mind you, remember the whole "my cats are ready for me to get off" thing?
Hi, get here. Hi, birdies.
Alright, I am saving and calling it quits for this real quick. Laser fire rate. Still, it's lasers though. Pull the trigger and sweep. I'm just saying. But anyway, save. Save. Quit. Exit. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. Give me about probably 2 minutes and I'll be back, and then we'll start building the castle, okay? Because I gotta like rearrange my room a little bit. I gotta move something out of the way, throw some stuff on the thing over there, and then set the table up. What the idea is, I'm gonna set the table up here, and then I'm gonna scoot back about 2 feet, and then I'll zoom the camera in so you guys can see what I'm doing, okay? Also, I need to check real quick. Alright, well, I was just checking to see if I had my old webcam. I thought I did. I didn't think I'd thrown it away. Maybe I did. I didn't think I did, but maybe I did. Alright, well, give me half a second here. I'll be back in a second, okay, guys? I'll see. Leave a like, follow, subscription, and I'll see you in a second.